You are listening to Win on KZKO. Check them out every Monday from 4 to 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Only on KZKO The Vibe.
Listen up, partners. This is Good, Bad, Ugly on World Improv Network.
Good evening, everyone. I am Alex.
My name is Asa.
And this is Jim.
And we are your astute win counselors to get you through any issues or problems that you might be facing. And we're going to go right to it. We've got some pretty interesting questions today from the winners. First one is from Marco from Chihuahua, Mexico. He writes, Dear Win, I live in the U.S. but grew up Baptist in a country where 85% are Catholic and less than 1% are Baptist, which makes it quite awkward when I go back home to Mexico to visit. Any suggestions on how to overcome this awkwardness, Asa?
Yeah, it's hard to find yourself as the fish out of water, so to speak. So I think, maybe emphasizing the similarities between the Baptist Church and the Catholic Church, and just bringing that a point to anybody that's giving you a hard time that we're really not that different. We might have some different protocols or rules or different restrictions,
right?
Because of the difference in churches, but ultimately, I believe like the same principles are encouraged: love, brotherhood, fraternity, and
finding Jesus.
Equality.
Yeah, fraternity, huh?
Well, I think that's actually those are like the French values of the, or at some point. I don't know.
You got thrown in the mix somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's my advice: is just emphasize the similarities.
What do you think, Jimbo?
I would go with the opposite, and I would encourage you to celebrate your differences. As the person who did not grow up Catholic, I'm guessing you have less shame than most of the people in the country, which I think you should rub in their face.
Oh, so you're talking about the 85% might be feeling a lot of shame.
Well, no, they are.
Oh, they are.
Hands
down. Okay.
Having been raised intensely Catholic,
okay,
I can assure you they are feeling lots of shame at all points in time over anything pleasurable. Thoughts of anything pleasurable also cause shame. They believe that they should be living a life of suffering and pain, and I think you should celebrate the difference that you're not bound by that shame.
That's a very good point. Marco, I would say here's what you do. Find your friends that are Catholic, so they're probably pretty easy to find when you go back to Mexico. Dip them all in salsa, and then just eat them like a big tortilla chip. That's how you baptize them. Okay, so now we got Scott from Denver, Colorado. He writes, Dear Win, I'm in my late 30s, and I recently sharted while at work. Oh. Is this abnormal or something I should be concerned about? What does that mean anyway, Jim? What is he talking about?
It means he has a loose bowel problem.
A loose bowel problem?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean by that? You mean... it's kind of like your stomach growling kind of a thing?
Yes, or he meant to
Some
just
came out.
Yeah. Yeah, more than gas.
Oh.
And, what was his actual question?
He says, is that abnormal?
Yes.
Or
yes,
something
it is.
He should be concerned about since he's in his late 30s and he quote-unquote sharted, whatever that means.
Yes, I think you should be very concerned. You should see a doctor immediately.
Wow.
You may have some muscle control issues.
Chemotherapy or something?
No, I'm thinking just like a rubber band for your lower intestine might be in order. It's
Shock
kind
treatment?
of like,
shock treatment? Could that help?
I feel like that might have the opposite effect of loosening muscle control.
What about Kegels?
Yes. See, now you're on the right track. I think those would be very useful. Then that's something that's like a homeopathic remedy that you can just start on your own, Winner.
What do you think, Ace? Because I'm really confused here.
Well, this question seems to imply that this would be normal at some age.
That is a good point, because he said, is this abnormal for his late 30s? That is a good point, yeah. So is it normal?
I don't know, but maybe this is like stress-induced. So I want to say instead of tightening things up, maybe you need to learn to relax.
Oh.
Take it and let your body, not have so much cortisone.
Cortisone.
Is that the thing? The stress hormone?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Too much stress hormones can lead to unpredictable bowel movements.
So he should be more like an overcooked udon or ramen noodle or something, just really loose and just stress-free.
If that metaphor makes sense for you, then that is peaches and cream.
Well, I really don't care if it makes sense to me. I hope it makes sense to the winner, Scott. That's all that really matters. So,
Well, what do you say?
Well, Scott, I come back to that point because Asa brings up a good one here about whether or not that's at any point in time in your life, if that's normal. And I guess-
As a baby.
As a baby?
Or a really old person.
Yeah, it's on either end.
Oh, so it starts with life and ends with it as well.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Scott, one of these days when I figure out what this actually means and what your problem is that you're wondering whether or not that's abnormal or not, I could probably give you a better answer. But just based off of hypotheticals here, since I'm kind of flying blind here, I think what you ought to do is maybe go down the lines of what Jim was talking about and just have everything in your body surgically removed. And then just put a bunch of recyclable, BPA-free bottles in your body instead. And I don't think anything's going to leak out at that point.
Alex, I think I might be able to help you out here.
Okay.
So the word shart
Right.
is a portmanteau of the words scheisse and fart. So it's like a combination of those two.
Oh, interesting. I know a little bit of German, so I think I know where you're getting at.
I don't, but whatever.
Okay. Well, winner, I hope that helps. I know I wasn't much of a help there, but I hope that at least the other two brilliant guys across from me helped you a little bit. And now we have Hannah from Seoul, South Korea, and she says, Dear Win, can you guys talk a little bit about Korean people to lighten up the week? Oh, all right. I don't know. Jim, want to start with this one?
Yeah. I love Korean people.
Okay.
Because I love StarCraft 2.
Oh, that's a video game.
Yes.
It's,
I don't play.
It's a sport. It's a competitive sport.
It's an e-sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they have like full-on competitions on this stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, with huge screens, like at a movie theater, and then tons of people crowd into like auditoriums to watch these games.
They sell out of whole arenas for these competitions.
And they're like $80,000 for first in the competition. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's serious business.
But that's a Korean thing. I mean, they're all into the StarCraft.
Yeah, it's where it's the most popular, and they tend to be the best at it. Within the StarCraft 2 scene, there are Koreans and foreigners. And if you're not a Korean, you're considered a foreigner.
So it's almost like North Korea, South Korea kind of a thing.
Yes, except it's South Korea and the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so the shoe's on the other foot. South Koreans feel like they're Kim Jong-un, and they are dominating the whole world, and everyone else is just kind of out there. It's not even relevant.
Except they actually are dominating. They are far and away the best.
So they have produced. They're not just
yeah.
bloviating. Okay. What do you think, Ace?
About Koreans?
Yeah, Hannah wants some talk about Koreans to lighten up her week.
Yeah, I knew some Korean kids in college, and they seemed like really nice people. So, you know what? And I would love to go visit South Korea. Actually, I think Dance Dance Revolution, or no, there's Dance Dance Revolution, and then there's the other one. I think it's called Pump It Up.
Oh,
where that's got 5 pads that you hit. They're diagonal and center. Whereas Dance Dance Revolution is just the
telephone dial kind of a thing.
Up, down, left, right.
Okay.
But I've seen some videos that happened in I think in Seoul, South Korea, where people are some young guys are killing it on the dance machines, and I used to be really into those. So. Thumbs up.
Well, okay, Hannah, I'll try to do something that's not a video game reference at all. I think what Korea should maybe think about here, given this concept.
Like the whole country?
The whole country.
This is a message to...
This is a message to the whole country, is you take all that kimchi, because I think you have to bury it for a couple weeks for it to be really authentic, good, spicy kimchi. You sit there and you make catapults out of this stuff, and you lob it up over the DMZ zone into North Korea, and you just start pelting one North Korean after another, and then all of a sudden, it's like being baptized. They get hit in the side of the face with a big wad of kimchi. They'll come to their senses. They'll drop out of the whole propaganda and this whole mystic thing that they've developed over the years, and all of a sudden, the country will be united over kimchi. And then they can play StarCraft, because then the North Koreans can get in on the game, and then the South Koreans and North Koreans, once they're unified, would even be more dominant in the game of StarCraft. So that's my thought, Hannah. I hope that helps. And we have one more little piece of inspiration to get you through the rest of the week, known as Horoscope Corner.
Love, fortune, status. Let us do your astrological chart. Horoscope Corner on World Improv Network.
Hey there, Aquarius. Are you stuck underwater or inside a glass bowl? Well, the only way to get out is to go to the World Improv Network Facebook page and like us. Go to the World Improv Network on YouTube, subscribe, leave some comments, like some of our videos, if not all of them, which you probably should do. It'll take several hours, but you'll love it. And also go to iTunes, check us out, download the podcast, subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, leave us some stars, and don't get caught being behind the tapped glass.
Thanks for listening to Win on KZKO. Don't forget to interact with the cast by sending your suggestions for each segment throughout the week by hitting them up on Facebook at World Improv Network, Twitter at World Improv Net, or the Win KZKO blog. See you next week.
You are listening to Win on KZKO. Check them out every Monday from 4 to 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Only on KZKO The Vibe.